Hello, good morning, my friends. I just finished my morning workout, but today I thought I would bring to you some differences that I see between the counting of votes in Nigeria, because Nigeria just had elections about 2 days ago, so they're in the process of counting votes and releasing the results. And I see a big difference between the counting of votes in Nigeria and compared to my country, St. Kitts and Nevis. Hi, morning. Yes, so there's a big difference between the counting of votes in Nigeria and my country, St. Kitts and Nevis. Yeah, in Nigeria, I saw some videos over the weekend where once they vote in Nigeria, in the villages, the towns, the cities, those votes, when the voting station is closed, those votes are counted immediately. The votes are counted immediately. The whole community is there. Everyone is seeing the counting of the votes. Even recording, everybody is with their cell phones recording. They're calling out the numbers so everybody can see. Full transparency. And I find that fascinating to see. Yes, I find that fascinating to see, because compare that to my country, St. Kitts and Nevis. After the vote, after the voters would have voted in the various villages, and so the voting station is closed. Nobody is seeing anything. The public is not seeing anything. The voting station is closed, and those votes are then transported to another location where they are counted in complete secrecy. There's nothing, there's no media in there. There's just some agents from the different parties, like maybe 4 or 5 people in there. So the general public doesn't have a clue what is happening until hours after, when the votes are just being called out and being released by what they call the supervisor of elections. Now, you can see that's a complete difference to Nigeria in Africa, because once they vote in Nigeria, as I said before, the votes are counted in the community. If they vote in a community center, the votes are counted right there, with agents lifting up the ballot and showing the whole community in the area the amount of ballots cast and the votes. It's gonna go on inside here. Yeah, and the vote, the amount of ballots cast and the votes, and that is seen by the whole community. Now, I am fascinated by that, because that is transparency compared to my country, St. Kitts and Nevis. But the difference is, we don't have any violence here in St. Kitts and Nevis with when it comes to elections, and so it's orderly. Everything is orderly. There's no violence. Smooth system, but lack of transparency. And then, but in Nigeria now, you have some acts of violence and stuff in different areas. But the thing is, another thing I noticed in Nigeria, once they have irregularity in a area, in like a voting area, where they are more, where the votes are not matching the ballots or something like that, they cancel the whole area cancelled. They don't count that into the system. So once the votes are counted in front of the community in Nigeria, they then record that vote in the system, and then they transport the ballots to a national center where the national vote counts is released publicly on television, on radio. And so, but before they are released publicly, the community would have had an idea what is happening, because as I said, the votes are counted so that everyone can see. In my country, St. Kitts-Nevis, as I said before, once the vote boxes or areas are closed, that's it. They then transport them to an area in complete secrecy. Nobody knows what is happening there. Only the party agents, and then hours after, the general public get the results from the supervisor of elections. So if anything goes wrong in there, nobody is seeing anything. You're just hearing news on the road. You're hearing like different stories and so. And if a party can contest the election results by going to court, and it's a long drawn out process. So it's a complete difference. Have a little bit of violence in Nigeria, no violence here. Transparency in Nigeria in the counting of votes, no transparency here. So that is the difference. And I hope, I'm not going to go too much in detail about it, because I don't know how the whole system works. But from what I can see, kudos to Nigeria. It's a lot of transparency. And I hope one day my country, St. Kitts-Nevis, would become like that and be more transparent in the counting of votes, and allow members of the media inside, so we can see what is happening in there. But that's it for now, and make sure to subscribe to this channel by clicking the red button on the bottom of the screen, and bye bye for now.